Maybe you don't know. It's a mysterious pathogen that comes from plants.
It's caused a pandemic.
Those who are infected undergo a dramatic transformation.
They're decomposing bodies mixed with moss
Even the trees.
to become monstrous-shaped hybrid beings.
Between nature, these zombie-like shapes.
It's called a regenerator.
They're often perfectly camouflaged in the forests and landscapes. They lie dormant waiting to attack humans. Some people believe that this is nature's revenge on humanity.
Because of the environmental damage that humans have caused. Years after the pandemic broke out,
A young man named Ethan has lost his memory, waking up in a crashed car. You and your girlfriend, Emma. I had an accident a few hours ago. Confused and bewildered,
you walk into the ruins of a city. It's now abandoned to find Emma. Only to realize that there's not a shadow here, and it's so quiet. Suddenly, I caught a truck.
with a man with a rifle. Standing on the roof, Ethan tries to explain his situation.
Revealed that he had lost his memory. But memory loss, it's one of the first symptoms of this type I withdraw.
The careful man.
I would rather kill than miss. But before he could shoot, a sudden gunshot echoed from the darkness.
And knock him down. A mysterious woman appears.
Quickly destroy the rest. On the truck,
Ethan explains that he is looking for EMA. But the woman just warned me.
about the dangers are lurking in this wild land. While you try to restart
The abandoned truck and clean up the bodies. Ethan recalls the accident. And the last moment of you and your girlfriend.
when they're together,
The woman asked Ethan for help.
but before you can do anything, suddenly I feel tired and faint.
Leaving the mysterious woman to fend for herself a while later. Ethan wakes up in a strange room.
I don't know why I'm here.
Be careful going down the stairs.
I met the woman who saved me. She introduced her name as May. Her eyes were full of worry,
When Ethan mentioned dementia,
but luckily for it, give me some clean clothes. A simple but warm gesture. Less than that he and EMA had prepared a separate cabin, filled with supplies to deal with the virus pandemic. I believe that EMA is probably waiting for me there. The room suddenly lost power.
so quick so and go outside to check the generator.
Before leaving, she warned him not to touch anything. Revealed that,
Her house is riddled with traps to protect her.
curious,
He walked out and recognized a reincarnation. Is disguised perfectly.
I was in a hurry to tell Luck. But she introduced the zombie.
Name his mother.
He warned that as long as Ethan kept his distance,
Your mother can't attack you. When Ethan announced that,
I can restore the generator. I suddenly fixed it skillfully.
to surprise and dispel doubt. Realized the house is deep in the forest.
Ethan asked if he was ever lonely. She joked that dreaming was her companion.
Suddenly, Meg pulled out a gun and gave it to Ethan. At the same time, challenged me to shoot you. Ethan immediately refused in surprise.
I can't understand your intentions. I'm lucky then to reveal the fact that if you pull the trigger,
I will die immediately.
because the gun was specially designed by her,
Then Ethan helps charge the solar battery.
by cycling to create energy.
In the meantime,
Music in the background and may invite you to dance.
this awkward atmosphere, it makes you feel uncomfortable.
So she offered to play cards.
After the game, Ethan insists that he find Emma.
Because you promised to protect her, I advise you to wait until morning and leave.
She urged him to rest and go to bed by himself.
Ignore the advice of May.
Ethan walked out on his own, and according to a metal bar.
To defend yourself against the reincarnated, you sneak into the solar truck and drive it through the night towards the cabin at Candle Lake. I hope to find Emma there. To Candle Lake instead of seeing Emma.
Ethan encounters a woman and her son. I am hiding in the dark.
I feel threatened by your appearance.
The woman who held Ethan at gunpoint asked him to.
Explain your intentions.
He assured her he was just looking for a girlfriend, and it's not meant to hurt AI.
Suddenly, they heard footsteps approaching.
It's a reincarnation. They closed the door in time, but the door was worn.
Can't hold long.
The reincarnated man rushed in and grabbed the woman.
As you struggle to escape,
Ethan picked up her gun.
but Seven hopes to realize it's out of ammunition.
In the midst of despair,
He grabbed a hammer on the floor and repeatedly banging on the head.
the last monster freed the woman from her claws.
Within inches, then they reinforced the door.
To prevent any other reincarnators from getting in,
Ethan is stunned to see the creature that just attacked.
they're still moving even though their heads have been smashed. Realize Ethan isn't a threat to his family.
The woman introduced her as Jolene. She admitted that if the gun had bullets,
Ethan was dead from the start. John noticed the eyes on Ethan's hand.
ask how you were hurt.
Ethan explains that he had an accident and your girlfriend's a doctor, so she bandaged you. Jolene revealed that she was there, this cabin for weeks and hadn't seen air. In addition to infected organisms, Ethan insists that Emma will come,
because this is where they were meant to meet. A while later,
Ethan fell asleep while Jolene stood guard. The next morning, I woke up and was horrified to find the floor covered in blood. More confused
when you saw Jolene in a pool of blood,
with plants starting to grow out of her body. She was actually infected, scared. Ethan rushed outside to calm down. While running,
I saw a reincarnated man eating a corpse,
Jolene's son. This horrific scene awakens Ethan's amnesia, brought him back to the memory of the accident with EMA. In a dreamy state,
I saw a boy lying dead,
tattered clothes. As he approached, he wondered who the boy was.
Suddenly, a woman with a bloody and deformed jaw, rushing towards you.
The woman tried to speak, but couldn't. And Ethan didn't realize she was Jolene. He has now become a reborn man.
Their interaction was interrupted by a gunshot.
The woman fell off LA in can,
with a bullet through the head.
May appear prize. I love that women are no longer human.
May reintroduce yourself.
Because Ethan has lost his memory again. They found a message from Emma. Say that Ethan's dementia is getting worse. But the phone ran out of battery before they could see it. That makes Ethan 7.
Only when luck promised they could charge their phones at home.
She helps you calm down. We both cycle to May's house.
Because the solar truck has run out
and can't be used.
Passing a gas station.
Fragments of Ethan's memories flashed. I remember when I shot a regenerator who's going to attack the EMA, but the memory is interrupted when you fall, and back to reality.
May repeat the introduction as usual.
I think Ethan has lost his memory.
But he assured me he still remembered her name.
To the Taylor's house.
They found signs of a break-in.
After inspection, they found a man named Tom,
hiding behind the bushes. Tom confessed that he got lost in the pandemic. I think the house is abandoned. So he broke down the door.
I was so suspicious that I took Tom's weapon, although he insisted that he only had one gun, and don't want to cause trouble.
When you ask for a meal,
may make a deal. A hot meal in exchange for a job. Ethan and Tom then chop wood together for fuel. Tom curiously asks Ethan about his relationship with May, and Ethan explained that
she's helping you find someone you've lost.
Call them both to dinner,
but secretly told Les than not to eat. Even if you are hungry, do as you say. After Tom finished dinner,
I started talking about my wife being funny. You revealed that the last time I spoke to you was 10 days ago,
when she said she was looking for food near a house with electricity.
Tom believes that Granny can't be a victim of reincarnation. She suspects she has been kidnapped. The conversation to bring back the fading memories in my mind. Ethan about his missing girlfriend.
Recognize.
Ethan may be experiencing another episode of amnesia, may try to guide you to rest. But Ethan can only go a little bit.
He quickly fell to the floor. Tom was asked to help lift the iPhone, but instead, Tom pointed his gun at her. Confirm your suspicions are correct. Tom took May's gun and beat her, when she scoffed that she'd get it back.
But soon Tom started to feel sleepy.
When he realized that the food had been sown with drugs, it's too late. Try to keep yourself awake. But he's still down by luck.
Ethan woke up that night and was horrified to see Tom lying motionless on the floor. Right after that,
2 other men are revealed to be Tom's accomplices.
Enter the room with a gun in hand. Ethan tried to warn him that luck was approaching, but he couldn't. They arrested her and tied her to a chair.
Ethan is the son of luck. They threatened to shoot you to break your spirit.
Fortunately, Tom wakes up in time and stops their plan.
You accuse May of kidnapping and possibly killing Funny.
I think you should do the same with Emma. And tried to kill them when putting drugs in food.
Tom convinces Ethan to take control of the house. They say they'll kill you if they find the evidence. During the search,
Ethan discovers a pendant that belongs to Emma, in a bag containing the spoils of sewing
from your victims. They also found a string of funny nuts.
Prove that she's been there.
Too angry,
Ethan faces May holding her gun.
Admittedly, Emma is dead, but he denied that he killed her.
Realized that the story has many secrets. Ethan asked how long he had been out of his mind.
Tom was curious about this revelation.
Ask Ethan about the wound on his arm, but Ethan can't remember. Ethan eventually collapsed.
When May revealed the truth that you're actually dead and infected with the virus,
I realized I was the one who was reborn,
killed Jolene and her son earlier.
These horrible memories. Ethan fell into a state of despair, gradually faced the reality.
Terrible about his current state. Meanwhile, one of Tom's accomplices, looking in a locked room. But he accidentally triggered the explosion trap.
When the event is discovered,
Tom angrily grabbed May's gun and shot her.
but instead, his hand exploded.
This bloody scene, stimulating the instinct of the reincarnated in Ethan, he came to attack and did shrink, went back to normal. Ethan is desperate, trying to vomit out the human flesh in his body, but I can assure you that I will soon forget it all.
And I don't remember anything.
The next morning, Ethan wakes up with no memory.
Unfortunately, I am a new friend.
Together, they prepare to hunt in the forest.
While hunting, Ethan noticed the bandage wrapped around his arm. Observe carefully.
Sporadic memories from the past flash through my mind. I can see the change in the color of my heart.
That Emma drew on the bandages. Not sure. Is Leck really my best friend? Or Ethan's pointing a gun at you? May admit to having changed the color on the bandage.
Explained that she ran out of red pens. She said she didn't have time to explain.
Because Ethan needs to be fed immediately.
That's when Ethan unwrapped I. Confirmed that the sprouts have begun to grow.
From the wound, I remember being bitten by a human being when trying to protect EMA.
May reveal that you fed Ethan fresh human flesh to stop the transformation, between you in a state of alertness and always young.
This revelation reminded Ethan,
The way Emma was forced to kill to feed him.
since you were bitten, to prevent complete transformation. Realize that May and Emma are actually the same person. Heart, Ethan melts before her long sacrifice. Emma explained that,
As long as you don't completely change and fed regularly.
your youth will be preserved. However, VR withdrawal also causes memory loss.
I can't remember what happened.
Sorry about Emma's situation. Ethan tries to shoot himself in the head.
To free you from the burden, but he quickly recognized the bullet.
Can't kill you. When Ethan tried to shoot back, Emma stopped him.
They both express their love for each other and kiss each other.
While kissing, EMA bites Ethan's lip, causing bleeding.
Recognize.
His regenerative human instincts can rise up. Ethan tried to push her out.
But EMA says she's letting go. I urge you to continue after you change.
The film ends with the two holding hands.
Though fate has thrust them into a tragic spiral. Deep wrinkles on the face of the garment.
15 is that much. 5 years of silence.
Sacrifice for the one you love the most.